While the world is transitioning to the renewable energy resources at a much faster pace than ever, oil and gas industry still substantially impacts the global economy and the energy independence of a lot of the developing world. The oil and gas industry employs more than 9.8 million people in the United States alone, which roughly translates to 5.6% of the total US population. Besides generating employment, supporting small and medium enterprises, and promoting research and training, the oil and gas industry makes up around 3.8% of the global economy, which was estimated at $86 trillion in 2019. A disruption in the oil and gas supply chain will result in increased inflation and reduced economic growth around the world. The logistics and transportation industry is highly sensitive to the fluctuations in oil prices. That means a reduction in oil supply would consequently cause prices of oil to go up, which will in turn also skyrocket the prices of goods and services that are dependent on the oil and gas industry as their primary energy source. In this video, we're going to look at some of the latest technology trends in the oil and gas industry that the companies are exploiting in order to generate higher profits and meet the global consumer demands. Deep and ultra-deep water drilling. The process of exploration and extraction of the deposits of oil and natural gas hidden beneath the seabed is called deep water drilling. Deep water drilling is a type of offshore drilling in which oil and gas resources are extracted from a depth of more than 5,000 feet beneath the sea surface. Fossil fuels are first extracted and stored in oil platforms constructed within the water bodies, and then the accumulated oil and gas are later brought to shore for the refining process. There are more than 3,400 offshore wells operating in the Gulf of Mexico alone that are responsible for 23% of the total US crude oil production. In January 2020, the French supermajor oil company Total announced that it will be drilling an offshore well off the coast of Angola that will be 3,628 meters below the surface. The deepest sea drilling operation achieved a depth of 7,725 meters, but it was carried out solely for the purpose of scientific research rather than extraction. And that means the project undertaken by Total will be the world record for the deepest oil well ever drilled. Hydraulic fracturing, which is also known as fracking, is a drilling technique that is used to extract oil and natural gas from reserves that are located deep below the Earth's surface. There has been a lot of debate in the past on the environmental and political concerns associated with the fossil fuel extraction technique. Advocates of the hydraulic fracturing consider it safe and clean drilling technique that is helping the global market meet consumer needs while also helping the economies. While the critics that think drilling method destroys the drinking water supplies as well as pollutes the air and contributes to greenhouse emissions, they also extensively associate this technique with global warming and earthquake triggers. What many don't realize is that there is 2 sets of casings installed into the ground to prevent groundwater from being damaged. These casings are cemented into place and pressure tested to ensure they will not leak. Once fracking has commenced, the crews ensure the shale rock is the only thing damaged by the fracking process. Fracking is essentially a process where you pressure up to crack a rock with a water and sand mix. The water provides the braking functionality while the sand particles slightly keep the rock open to produce the oil or gas in the desired area. Seismic mapping. Petroleum geologists use seismic mapping in order to trace patterns of rocks beneath the Earth's surface in order to locate potential petroleum reservoirs. This mapping process is carried out using a controlled seismic source of energy, which can be dynamite or a Tovex blast in order to penetrate elastic waves into the Earth's surface. The different types of rocks beneath the Earth's surface cause these waves to reflect and refracted at different levels. A number of receivers installed on specific locations capture the returning signals over a pre-specified period of time. The data collected from these waves contains unwanted noise, which is then filtered out in order to enhance the resolution of the mapping obtained during the whole process. Seismic mapping can help image a depth of 10 kilometers of the subsurface on Earth, and the data obtained from this mapping can be paired with other techniques for the exploration of hydrocarbons. Seismic mapping surveys are usually carried out by the national and international oil companies involved in a region. These companies outsource these mapping projects to field experts like CGG and Petroleum Geo Services. A third company is then hired to process the data acquired from the mapping survey in order to create a finished seismic volume, which can be geologically interpreted by the oil company. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss more videos on emerging technology and much more. Take care.